certain symbols which we recognize in this country as belonging uniquely to America. And the Dallas Cowboys are among them. Because of the consistency of their success, 17 playoff teams in the past 19 years. Because of their style, they have been embraced by a nation. They are America's team. The Cowboys roared out of the starting gate this year after struggling through a perplexing season in 1984. And their roster is still filled with names which dominate the headlines. 200 miles down the highway, the Houston Oilers have labored in the shadow of their more glamorous neighbors to the north. For them, the decade of the 80s has been anything but kind. Only 7 wins in the last 3.5 years. Offensive problems and defensive inconsistencies have cost them. But there is an undercurrent of confidence growing in this team and in this city. The Oilers have added men like Warren Moon and Butch Woolfolk to the huge number of draft choices which now provide the nucleus of the team. Running back Mike Rozier is the latest addition to the roster. And the Oilers gained instant respect with a season-opening win over Miami. So today, the eyes of Texas are on the sold-out Astrodome as the Dallas Cowboys visit the Houston Oilers next on CBS. It is a scene reminiscent of the glory days of Houston in the late 70s. A sold-out Astrodome once again gathered here, including standing room only, for this fifth meeting ever between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Oilers in the 4th weekend of the 1985 season. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Terry Bradshaw. No secret the teams have run and run well against the Houston Oilers. The Cowboys, Terry, would like to do that, but there's some concern that Tony Dorsett is not at full speed.
Well, Tom Landry told us yesterday, he said, I'm not real sure that Tony can play an entire football game. He's awfully banged up, and we're just going to have to see as the game goes along as to what extent we continue to use him. Now, Vern, off of last week's game against the Steelers, in which the Steelers rushed for 246 yards, you got to believe that Tom Landry wants a healthy Dorsett in there to run the football today against the Oilers.
On the Houston side of the bench, they have a diversified weapon at quarterback. Warren Moon, with a great name, can hurt you with the throw or with the run.
Well, he has one of the great names in football, Moon. I always wish I had a name like that, but the thing he does so well, folks, is that not only when he drops back in the pocket, but if you put pressure on him by the ends, he scrambles, gets outside, and makes things happen. He can run, he can throw on the run, and he can run with the football. A really great athlete who will pose problems today for the Cowboys.
We are set for the kickoff, and the Houston Oilers have won the toss. This is the 5th meeting between the two teams. Last time here was on a Monday night in 1982, and the Cowboys won that one 37-7. Rafael Septien will kick it. And the deep men, they are dangerous. Steve Tasker, who averages 30.7 in kickoff returns, and Willie Drury. Underway from the Astrodome. Steve Tasker, a rookie from Northwestern. And he does not achieve his goal as Victor Scott makes the tackle, number 22 for the Cowboys. The Oilers will open with Warren Moon, Butch Woolfolk, and Larry Moriarty in the backfield, Tim Smith, and recently acquired and dangerous Drew Hill at the wide receiver spots. Up front, all number 1s and number 2s with the exception of Schumacher, Salem, Munchak, Romano, John Schumacher, Bruce Matthews, and a free agent tight end from 2 years ago, Jamie Williams. Warren Moon for the season, 499 yards. He's been a little upset at the conservative nature of the offense so far. They haven't thrown more than 18 times a game, but they will throw on first down, and they will go deep attacking Ron Fellows, and they've got Drew Hill out there, but Fellows makes the interception. That is the 10th interception in 1985. They went immediately at the fellow who's been out with an injury for 2 weeks.
Warren Moon told us yesterday, he said, if I throw deep tomorrow, it's going to be on 27 Fellows. I believe that Hill, who has great acceleration, will be able to go by him, and we can get the big touchdown on Fellows with Hill 85. Well, you saw that Hill had Fellows beat, but Moon underthrew the football, leading back to us to believe that maybe the thumb's not exactly 100%, Vern.
First down, 10, Dallas. Danny White at quarterback. Dorsett and Tim Newsom will line up as split backs. Now they shift into the I. Dorsett out the second half with back spasms last week against Cleveland. A quick reverse to Tony Hill. But the Oilers have stayed at home and dropped Hill for a loss. Houston, because of the aggressive nature of its defense, has been hurt by these quick reverses, and the Cowboys try and open it up, but Houston recognized it. Danny White, Tony Dorsett, Newsom, Tony Hill, and Mike Renfro. Part of the offense. And up front, Chris Schultz will start for Phil Pozderac today. He is joined by Glenn Titensor, Tom Rafferty, Kurt Peterson, Jim Cooper, and the tight end Doug Cosby, who has 19 receptions already this year. That's a loss of 6 at 2nd down and 16. Fred Cornwell in a double tight end set. Dorsett gets the pitch with Newsom trying to supply the block. Robert Abraham and Ray Childress make the tackle. It's Childress, the #1 draft choice from Texas A&M, who starts at left end. Mike Stensrud and Jesse Baker complement him. The linebackers, Robert Lyles, Avon Riley, Robert Abraham, and Johnny Meads. And an extremely young secondary, Steve Brown, with 3 interceptions, is joined by Patrick Allen, Keith Bostic, and Bo Eason. James Jones has come into the lineup for the Cowboys now on 3rd down, 14. And they will go from the shotgun as Houston shows a blitz look. Matter of fact, they've got a 9-man front, now a 10-man front. Everybody's coming. The ball is batted down in the line of scrimmage. 4th down. Jesse Baker, number 75, batted it down.
This is a page out of the Cowboy book. Everyone knows that they're going to blitz. They line up there. You see Cush coming right at Danny White. Gets a shot on Danny, but it's too late. The pressure was right in his face. He was trying to hit Cosby coming across the middle. Even if he had completed the pass, it had been well short of the 1st down.
Mike Saxon is 2nd in the NFC in kicking behind Sean Landetta. He's a rookie from San Diego State. Drafted in the 11th round by Detroit last year and made it to the last cut. That's high, but relatively short, and Willie Drury makes the fair catch, giving Houston good field position at their own 37-yard line. First turnover of the game goes to the Cowboys, but they can't do anything with it. Houston's got the ball.
We're not a company, but we'll give you a chance to work where there's always a challenge. We'll give you opportunities to learn, to develop, to perfect skills that you thought were beyond your reach. We'll help you build a career that can reward you for the rest of your life. We're not a company, we're your country. We're the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
Ever since man invented machines to move people, he has sought new ways to defeat the wind's resistance. And now there's a totally new aerodynamic design for this age. Ford brings you the age of Aerostar. Aerostar. Take it to the school. Take it to the campsite. Take it to the movies. Take it to the lumberyard. Or take it to the max. Yes, any way you take it. Aerostar proves its versatility. Aerostar. Ford Aerostar.
All the right parts in all the right places. Napa's putting smiles on American faces.
Napa means auto parts. So dependable, they may be the best part of your car. More than 100,000 parts for import and domestic vehicles are available through over 6,500 Napa stores all across the country. Or get Napa quality at garages and service outlets where you see the Napa sign. Wherever you go, Napa's the one.
All the right parts in all the right places. Napa.
There is a slight experience gap when it comes to the coaches prowling the sidelines. Tom Landry in his 26th season with the Dallas Cowboys, and Hugh Campbell in only his 2nd season as head coach of the Houston Oilers. Campbell, of course, had many years of success in the Canadian Football League. 1st and 10, Oilers. Warren Moon, who threw deep on his first attempt of the game last week, 10 of 18 for 92 yards. 1st and 10, backs in the eye. From the 37, Jamie Williams in motion. To Butch Woolfolk, and Randy White beat off the block of Mike Munchak and made the tackle. Woolfolk, a former #1 draft choice of the New York Giants, where he was criticized by his coach, Terry Bill Parcells, as being an east-west runner, but he's added greatly to this Houston team.
Well, the thing that Campbell likes about him, he says, I really was surprised at the speed he had, the straightaway speed plus the power. And sometimes also, when you make a transition from one team to another, you do change.
2nd down and 10. This is Moriarty. Surging up the middle. And that'll be just short of the first down at the 46-yard line as Michael Downs, the safety, made the tackle. Moriarty is the leading rusher, but the grounds have come difficult for the Houston Oilers with 90 yards. They don't have a back over 100 yet.
I tell you, he came out in the paper and said this is an absolute must-win for the Oilers, and some of his own teammates said, gee, I wish you hadn't have said that. This isn't. If it's a must-win for anyone, it has to be a must-win for the Dallas team. Moriarty said it could turn the franchise around if they win today. 3rd and 1. Moriarty, or rather Woolfolk, he's got the first down. That'll move the chains. This time it's Michael Downs again, number 26, who makes the stop. First down of the game. It comes with 11:40 to go first quarter. Butch Woolfolk out of Michigan, when he learned of the trade, immediately moved his wife and family down to Houston and spent a lot of the offseason time in the film room, which is the reason I understand that he is starting and Mike Rozier is not playing quite that much. First down and 10. No score in the game. 11:14 to go first quarter. Safety blitz threatened by Downs. He's coming. They've got him. No, Moon is not in the grass. Now lobs it out, caught by Moriarty to the 46-yard line. That's where Warren Moon can burn you. Well, this is what we said at the top of the show. If you get pressure on Moon, the thing that he can do is run and throw on the run. That time, he came inside. They had him pegged. Lockhart, that is, had him, missed him on the blitz. He got outside of the containment and hit Moriarty and forced Clinkscales, number 47, to come up and make the tackle. 2nd down, 4. Houston. First time they've crossed midfield. They only crossed it twice against Pittsburgh last week. Deep handoff to Rozier, who's come in the lineup, and he's going to be caught after a gain of just 1. Jim Jeffcoat, Cowboys #1 draft choice of 3 years ago, made the tackle. There's the Heisman Trophy winner, 2nd all-time rusher in NCAA history. He's got to be a tired young man. I was asking Coach Campbell, I said, what is, why aren't you using Rozier more? And he said, well, Terry, quite honestly, he has been into 4 different offenses. He has been here, and numbering changes from odd right to odd left. And he said he's just a little confused, and we're bringing him along slowly. He is in the backfield now with Butch Woolfolk on 3rd down and 3. The handoff goes to Woolfolk, who's caught behind the line, darts and dodges, and is trapped for a loss. Back to the 49, it'll be 4th down as Jeff Rohrer, number 50, stayed home and made the tackle. And Woolfolk and Rohrer exchanged friendly taps on the shoulder. Well, the thing that, in talking to Warren yesterday, he said, the thing I'd really like to do is come out on early downs and throw the football against the Cowboys. It seems that seems to be the best way to attack them because of their flex where they're not rushing the passer. Today, we've seen 1 pass, 1 blitz, and the rest has been runs. Cowboys go with twin safeties again. They did this last week without any apparent success. And the barefooted left-footer, Lee Johnson from Brigham Young, is getting set to kick. Way up in the air. And into the end zone, touchback. There's a flag also on the play. Referee today is Fred Wyant. And the option will rest with the Cowboys. I would imagine they'd decline that because if he wants to take the option now, he could punt it and knock it out of bounds.
Downfield against the offense, declined.
There you go, Coach Bradshaw. So the Cowboys have it back for the 2nd time. Tom Landry's troops couldn't move the ball their first time out. We are scoreless with 8 minutes and 59 seconds to go first quarter.
When I came to America from Russia, I discovered many wonderful things, like blue jeans, unopened mail, and light beer from Miller. When I tasted this light, I said to myself, what a country. Light has great taste. Light's also less filling with 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. In America, there is plenty of light beer, and you can always find a party. In Russia, party always finds you.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less. Hey!
If you're thinking of buying a personal computer, and all the signs say it's time to take the first step, a few questions may still be holding you back. Will your PC have the power you want to run the software you want? What about expandability and optional equipment? And how much money is it going to take? If these questions have crossed your mind, now's a good time to look at IBM. The complete answer. An IBM PC can run the latest, most powerful programs and give you almost unlimited expandability with options like the new IBM printers and the IBM PC network. And today, prices are better than ever. So don't wait. Once you take the first step, the rest come easy. IBM personal computers. See them at a store near you or call your IBM representative.
Number 85 is Fred Cornwell, and he has joined Doug Cosby as a double tight end set. Terry, this is something the Cowboys have not shown this year yet.
Well, the reason they're showing it today and talking to Danny White is that we believe that with our multiple formations that we can confuse the young Houston Oilers defense into making mistakes, and we can get big plays with several offensive formations. So this is just one of the many we'll see today.
Brian Soche, number 72, has come in at nose guard, replacing Stensrud for the Oilers. First and 10, Cowboys, no score in the game. Cornwell in motion and White with a play fake. Blitz is coming from the outside. White is going deep and has a man open. The pass is made by Tony Hill. He beat Patrick Allen, number 29, and the Cowboys have a huge gain. 58 yards. And watch it from the end zone.
Then he comes back on a simple play action to hold the linebackers, looks over to the right, then turns the ball loose. It's actually an excellent throw long before Hill had ever got into his route. It's one of those, what we used to call in the old playgrounds, the out and up, fake the sideline and take it up the field. Allen bit on the sideline, and Tony Hill was wide open for the big catch.
Danny White was laughing last night when Terry asked him if anybody talked in the huddle. He said, other than Tony Hill, no, not really.
He said, Tony's always said, I'm open, I'm always open.
First down and 10, Dallas, no score, 8:05 to go first quarter. Dorsett gets the handoff, cuts back to his left, and squirts through for a gain of about 5. Dorsett has a fractured transverse process, which is a non-weight-bearing bone in his back, and caused him back spasms last week. Sounds worse than it is, I guess.
It sounds real bad. Transverse whatever. It sounds sounds like he ought to be in the hospital to me.
Mike Renfro back in the lineup. The Cowboys go with only Cosby at tight end. It's second down and 6. No score in the game. Newsom and Dorsett, the setbacks. Newsom hit at the line and knocked down by Robert Lyles, number 93.
This is just another example of the style of defense that the young Oiler team is displaying, where this time Lyles, number 93, comes flying in from the backside as they turn around and give Newsom back over the left guard, and he's crashing down in there and actually tackles him from the blind side. You know, these guys are just, they're so young, they say, we're just going all out all day long.
Hugh Campbell looks on. James Jones has replaced Dorsett in the Cowboy backfield. 3rd and 2. And motion from the left side, where Chris Schultz, getting the first start of his career, anticipated the snap count. Schultz has replaced Phil Pozderac, who is on the bench in Cities. He's 6'8", 280, injured reserve all of last year, and just a little antsy in that offensive line.
He's a little antsy, Vern, but he's against the best pass rusher that the Oilers have, and Jesse Baker, 75.
Illegal motion, number 86, number 66, 3rd down.
There you go. Thank you. But anyway, he's against him, and he's probably said, well, this is my first chance here, and I've got this big guy, and I want to get the jump on him. And he just kind of anticipated the snap a little too soon and jumped off sides.
So now on 3rd and 7, the Cowboys go from the shotgun. No score in the game, 6:50 to go first quarter. Blitz threatened by the Oilers. An adjustment called by Danny White, who makes the audible. Blitz is coming. White flips it out. Caught by James Jones, short of the first down.
Well, they faked the blitz, actually, Vern, and what happened is that the Cowboys expected blitz. They read blitz. Newsom moves over to pick up the safety, and Danny had the audible on for the blitz, and what they did at the very last minute was pull their safeties out and go into zone coverage, and Danny went to the man out in the flat, but he got it there. It wouldn't have been enough for the first down anyway. Good job by their young defense of confusing the Cowboy offense.
That will bring on Raphael Septien to kick out of Gary Hogaboom's hold. Septien 5 of 8 for the year, missed 2 in the loss to Detroit from 42 and 44. This kick is from 47 yards away. Had a miss last week of 49 yards. No, sir. He's now 5 of 9. And the Dallas Cowboys waste a big, big play of 58 yards. Many of you saw that thrilling Stanford-Texas game yesterday afternoon when the Longhorns came from behind and won it 38-34. Next weekend on CBS Sports, some of you will see Michigan State against the awesome Iowa Hawkeyes, or others of you will see Arizona State against UCLA. Arizona State thrashed USC last night. That's college football next Saturday on CBS Sports. First down 10, Houston. We remain scoreless. The Oilers have been outscored 37-0 in the first quarter. And if they can hang tough here, it's going to really inspire them. Here's Moon on the run, and he'll take it out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Moon was probably a little bit faster than he normally is because he had Randy White just breathing right down it. And I am impressed with Randy White's speed here because I, honest to goodness, thought that Moon would be able to get away. Now look at him. He's sitting there, he's fighting, and now Romano, he gets by Romano, and now he's got a dead beat on Moon, and Moon finally steps out of bounds. But that's great hustle by Randy White.
Jim Romano, the Oilers center who was acquired from the Raiders in a midseason trade last year, told us yesterday, I've never played against anybody better than Randy White. Second down, 11. Moon with time across the middle. Caught by Jamie Williams. And now they will signal incomplete.
Good reaction that time in the secondary. One of the things that they're going to try to do today, according to Gene Stallings, the defensive backfield coach, is that we're going to try to give the young quarterback Moon a lot of different looks. Make him think blitz play zone. Make him think zone and then safety blitz. All kinds of different looks to confuse him and his receivers. That time they came up and faked a strong safety blitz, dropped out in the zone. Moon throws it inside, and Downs, 26, the free safety, did a good job of breaking on the ball, and doggone near had another interception.
Oilers go with 3 wide receivers now. Mike Akew, a rookie, number 86, has come in, and the Cowboys with 6 defensive backs. Third down, 11 with 6:29 to go first quarter. Blitz is coming, and there's a fumble on the play. The ball is still free. The Cowboys, I think, have recovered. Yes.
That's the 9th quarterback-center exchange that the Houston Oilers have had this year, Vern. It's something you very seldom see in professional football where a quarterback and the center cannot make the exchange. But this is the 9th exchange fumble they've had. All right, he comes out. Now the ball actually was slapped loose.
Victor Scott, number 22.
Victor Scott came in, number 22, and slapped the ball out of Warren's hand. I've never seen that. Now the ball's bouncing around. Who comes up with it?
Michael Downs.
Michael Downs.
Turnovers, 2-0 Cowboys. An interception, and then Michael Downs, after Victor Scott had slapped the ball out of the hands of Warren Moon. No score in the game, 6:21 to go first quarter. Redskins lead Chicago 7-0. Danny White pulls up, lets it fly high and incomplete. Juggled and caught out of bounds. Tony Hill battling Patrick Allen. Beat me once, don't beat me twice.
This is good timing this time by the defensive back, 29, Patrick Allen. As you see, actually the ball is a little bit behind Hill. Also was a little bit late in arriving, and that gave Allen, number 29, who had been beaten on the play by Hill, the opportunity to come back and drive through the receiver and force in completion.
Second down, 10. Patrick Allen only 5'10". Tony Hill at 6'2". Danny White now 1 out of 4. Dorsett almost broke it. Got to the 11 and maybe the 10. Keith Bostic saved the touchdown. Dorsett has not had a 100-yard game this year. As a matter of fact, only 2 in excess of 100 in the last 22 games.
That's just a good job that time by his left side of Rafferty and Titans or number 63, as they did a good job of coming inside, sealing off, and then you can see Kurt Peterson's good block there, and then Tony just came in, cut behind their blocks, and picked up big yardage.
First down, 10, Dallas. No score in the game. 5:38 to go, first quarter. The motion man is a double tight end, Fred Cornwell. Dorsett, with Newsom leading the way left, is cut down at the line of scrimmage by Bo Eason, number 21, former second-round draft choice of a year ago, whose brother Tony, of course, is the quarterback at New England.
Now, one thing you'll see all day, if Coach Landry likes this formation. They continue to move the football. You will continue to see the two tight end formation. But when you have a negative play by a result of Eason coming up making a big play, then you'll see him start slowly get away from that and go into his trips and double wings and find out another way to attack the young football team.
Matter of fact, Terry, Mike Renfro has now replaced Cornwell. Hill is lined up wide left and Renfro to the right. This is Tim Newsom in motion. Quick pitch, a flag is down, halfback pass. Looked like it might have been. It is. There's Renfro. And Renfro had been, that looked like a Chinese sandwich. That was awful. It was really a mess.
Well, let's see what we got here. Illegal procedure.
We got everything.
What you got is you got great penetration by the young Oilers as they come inside and knock off the sweep, which totally knocks off any kind of faking the run and pass and confuse him. And then they get outside and Renfro's knocked off the line. He can't get loose on his route. And finally, Newsom's going out of bounds.
It was Newsom, I think, they said.
And he's going out of bounds. So he says, here, catch it anyway. So he throws it down there end over end. It's just a big mess.
On a play like that, it seems suitable if the referee's mic didn't work.
Well, I asked Coach Landry yesterday, do you have any gadget plays this week? Well, you know, we might not. Well, we've seen two already early in the first quarter.
Second down, 15. 4:46 to go. First quarter, no score from Houston.
Safety blitz.
White pulls up. Dodgers one. That is the first sack in a game and a half. The Cowboys last week did not allow White to be sacked against Cleveland.
Well, they had the safety blitz on this time. You're going to see the pressure comes from the outside as number 25, Bostic, blitzes inside. Actually, that's 93. He's coming inside that time. Lyles, number 93, the linebacker. Now, Childers, 79, comes around, and he just beats his man. Goes over to Jim Cooper, number 61, and knocks him down, and Baker comes in and finishes him off.
So this drive is retreating to the north. It'll be third down and 19 with 4:20 to go. In the first quarter, no score.
Actually, you can do more with your offense from the 20 than you can from the 10, so this is really not that important that they're back.
Looks deep left side into double coverage. The catch is made, but it is short of the first down. James Jones with his second catch today. And that will bring on Rafael Septien for his second field goal attempt. Missed from 47 a moment ago. Patrick Allen made the tackle on James Jones. Once again, the Oilers with a fine defensive stand after Dallas had gotten inside the 30-yard line. This time the kick comes from 33 yards away. Jerry Hogaboom to hold. Missed it again. The Oilers are pumped. They've held Dallas twice.
Ford Escort is the world's best-selling car. Nobody can seem to catch it. Escort outsells Nissan Sentra, Honda Civic, and Toyota Tercel by 2 to 1 or more. And with its more powerful engine, Escort could make the gap even wider. So while Ford Escort continues to be the world's best-selling car, the competition somehow seems to miss the boat. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Bottom of the ninth, bases loaded.
Boy, could I go for a juicy new Whopper at Burger King. That would really hit the spot.
What's going on? The coach is sending Kettinger to third.
A flame-broiled Whopper with lettuce, tomatoes, onions.
Now he's sending Phillips to second, and then goes Spinelli home.
Beat Big Mac and Monday single for best taste. Maybe I'll have 2.
Spinelli scores. Holy cow, brilliant coaching.
Great, now we can eat.
The big beefy new Whopper at Burger King.
When the big Q flows, America goes.
Hey, that truck runs. A Fisher & Son doesn't.
Only gets the big Q. Quaker State.
Well, you can depend on number one.
Fuel pop, they start with Pennsylvania-grade crude.
Nothing like Quaker State.
It's a one-of-a-kind formula. Stable viscosity, keeps the oil flowing, protecting, no matter what.
No substitute for quality. I got 2 great partners.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
Is what you tell your minister sacred, even if it's about a murder? Is it between you, him, and God, or should he tell the police? 60 Minutes tonight on CBS.
Very seldom will you ever see a head coach talk to his kicker unless he's got something that he thinks his kicker should know what's on his mind. And I got a feeling that Tom Landry was telling Sepchan a few things that he thought were important to help him make his next field goal attempt, Vern.
I'll bet he makes it. Handoff deep. Larry Moriarty didn't gain much as Mike Hegman made the tackle, number 58. But the Cowboys now with an interception and a fumble recovery. They also had a huge pass to Tony Hill and 2 missed field goals. There is Randy White. Mean, huh? Never sacked you, huh?
I don't know. You know, I don't want to tell him that.
You told me that.
Yeah, but I can outrun you.
2nd down and 10 officially. 2:47 to go first quarter. Moon with some pressure, incomplete. Intended for Butch Woolfolk. And that time it was Jeff Rohr who made the tackle.
The thing that the Cowboys are not allowing Warren Moon to do is take his time and read the coverage properly. That time, Ed Too Tall Jones, number 72, got inside and got pressure on Moon and forced him to take his eyes off of downfield for the deep route and come to the short route and forced him also to throw it behind the receiver.
Terry asked Ed last night if he was thinking about retirement, if this might be his last year, and he said, no, sir.
Said, I'm having too much fun, Terry. When it stops being fun, he said, then I'll retire. But right now, I really enjoy playing.
3rd and 9 for the Oilers in a scoreless game. 2:42 to go first quarter. Stunts by the defensive line. Moon is hit and fumbles. The ball is free back at the 7-yard line, and the Oilers have recovered. It was Randy White who beat the block of Mike Munchak to get through.
Well, so far, Randy White's kind of been all over the field. Jim Romano told us yesterday, you know, they were going to trap him, try to slow him down, but early in the football game, they've not been able to slow him down. He goes right by Mike Munchak, just goes right by him, blows free. No one's picking him up. And asking the coaches yesterday, they said, we're going to help our people out by putting an extra person on Randy White. But as I can see early in this first quarter, they have not been able to do that so far, Vern.
He did that time, and Lee Johnson is on the kick from 5 yards deep in the end zone. Double safeties now for the Cowboys. They've got Gonzalez and Bates.
He might make MVP in the league today the way things are going.
That's right. Here's the left-footed kick by Lee Johnson. Hangs it up. Leon Gonzalez at the 49. And is spilled immediately. Punt returns have been a problem for the Cowboys this year. They're averaging just over 3 yards per return. They put those twin safeties back last week, and Tom said, well, it didn't help much. All we did was fair catch with 2 guys back there. Next week on the NFL, many of you will see the 49ers, who seem to be on a roll as they take on the Atlanta Falcons with a depleted secondary. Others of you will watch the suddenly resurgent Philadelphia Eagles, who knocked off the Redskins last week against the New Orleans Saints. And still others of you will watch the Minnesota Vikings take on the Los Angeles Rams, who looked like world beaters last Monday night.
Well, I wouldn't say Philadelphia was one victory over Washington is resurgent.
Hey, you try and find the bright spots. I bet they think it is.
Win's a win.
First down 10, Cowboys, no score. Danny White, Tony Dorsett. A gain of 8 as he goes over left tackle, and Bo Eason makes the stop.
Some people that criticize Coach Landry, not really criticize, but question his conservative game plan, calling it vanilla and what have you. But what he said basically was we were going to come out and control the line of scrimmage, establish our running game, short passes, and be conservative to eliminate mistakes and turnovers that killed us in the Detroit Lion game. And here in this game so far, that's exactly what we're seeing.
They go with a double tight end set now on 2nd down and 2. Cornwell, number 85, in motion. Dorsett darts to the outside. This is where he is really dangerous. A photographer over there can attest to that. He's on his back. That's a gain of 30 for Tony Dorsett, and the longest gain of the year for him.
This is a good job, a good lead block by Newsome as he comes inside. Tony dips inside, dips outside. There's no containment. No one's outside. Hill's doing a good job of blocking off Patrick Allen, 29. And then finally, Steve Brown, number 24, comes all the way across the football field and knocks Dorsett out of bounds. Well, that's a conservative play that went for, what, how many yards? 30 yards, not bad.
Total offense rather overwhelming here in the first quarter, but it's still scoreless. Cowboys threatening for the third time. They have missed 2 field goals. First down just outside the 10. Timmy Newsom gets the handoff, and Ray Childress, number 79, made the tackle. Newsom, a former 6th-round draft pick, left camp a couple of years ago for a while when they switched him from tailback to fullback because he didn't think he was going to get a chance to play. Robert Newhouse retired. Ron Springs was traded, and he's the horse in that spot now. Mike Renfro back in the lineup. 2nd down and goal from the 7. Well, Fred Wyatt is...
He's telling them to get the cameras back. They're too close. And the fans in the corner say, wait a minute, there goes our pitcher. Bring that camera back.
So the camera has been moved. And now we're set to go again.
You know what? It could be that White told him that, and because they're going to throw a football over there, huh? Just a dead giveaway.
Let's see if that happens. You wouldn't do that.
No, not hardly.
2nd and goal from the 7. No score. 20 seconds to go first quarter.
Boy, if he did, though, wouldn't that make us look good?
Looking left. Into the flat. Should be 6. Newsom. And the Cowboys finally take the lead at 6-0 with Raphael Septien's extra point to come.
This is one of those quick step passings where the quarterback takes 1, 2, 3 steps, plants, turns around, and he has an isolation with Newsom, number 30, on Meads, number 91, Johnny Meads, and it's no contest. Newsom sets him up inside, breaks outside. Meads is left flat-footed, just standing there, and Newsom's wide open, goes in for the 6. Hey, if you can't kick field goals, shoot, throw TD passes.
And try extra points. Hogaboom will hold, and Septien does find the area. The Cowboys go 47 yards in 4 plays. The big one, a run by Tony Dorsett of 30.
Who has expanded your TV picture by adding 4 new corners? It's RCA. Introducing RCA's picture window TVs. Sleek, slender screens with full corner-to-corner picture. They're all picture. All RCA ingenuity. And as pretty off as on. The new picture window TVs in new, larger screen sizes from RCA. Technology that excites the senses.
Now, as I understand it, Bobby, in baseball, you keep your players in a bullpen, choke your bats, and steal bases?
That's right, Freddie, and just about everybody drinks light beer from Miller.
Oh, this is the one that's less filling.
Right again, and that's important to an old base stealer like me, and it tastes great.
Certainly does. Now, about these bases, mate, how many did you steal?
681.
Wow. 681? Blimey. Where do you keep them all?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Tonight on CBS, Elizabeth Montgomery, Ray Walston, Pat Morita, Dorothy McGuire, and Kirk Douglas as Amos.
47-yard drive for the Dallas Cowboys in 4 plays. Tony Dorsett got 30 of those yards. 149 was all it took. And Danny White finds Timmy Newsom with a 7-yard pass, and the scoreless drought is broken. Now Raphael Septien will kick off for the Cowboys. Steve Tasker, number 80, and Willie Drury are the deep men. And again, the Oilers are very, very dangerous in kick returns. This will be Steve. No, it's Drury at the 5. Coming left, hit, bounces off a tackle, and gets it to the 25-yard line. And that will be the end of the first quarter of play as the Cowboys have dominated here in the first half, or the first quarter, with 2 turnovers and 1 touchdown, and they're out on top 7-0.
Michigan State play Iowa or Arizona State against UCLA next Saturday on CBS Sports.
When I came here in 1982, I was what you call a free agent, a long shot. Backfield coach Gene Stallings was the first to say, all that Bates needs is a chance.
You're getting your chance to play in the NFL. You think you can do it?
I know I can.
Let's go.
All right. There are a lot of people who want a chance in life and just need the opportunity to make it on their own. I'm Bill Bates of the Dallas Cowboys, and this is my wife, Denise.
And here in Dallas, they're getting their chance through the agencies and the programs the United Way. As United Way volunteers, we've seen how it works. Come on, we'll show you.
One of the most critical needs for single parents is daycare services. Last year, United Way contributed over $45 million to make daycare services available in communities all across the country.
And this is the payoff. Happy children receiving professional quality care, helping parents to make a way for themselves.
That's why we want to say thanks, because thanks to you it works. For all of us, the United Way.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
The Astrodome for the second quarter of play, this fourth game of the 1985 season, with the Cowboys leading Houston by a 7-0 count. Warren Moon will go on first down, or maybe he will. Yes, sir, he's broken 2 attempts at the tackle and finally is dropped for a loss of 1. The Cowboys feel like they've got one of the best defenses in the NFL, and I think on testimony, Terry, from what we've seen so far, they might hold true to that statement.
Well, the thing that their defense has really been the one bright spot the Cowboys have had, and been aggressive, creating turnovers, interceptions. They're way ahead of the offense, but Landry's bringing the offense along nice and slow, running game, short passes, build the confidence up, and you're going to see an explosion later on in the season by the Cowboy offense. I believe that.
So far, the Oilers don't have a yard gained. Minus yardage. Here's Moon. It won't be much longer. There's Tim Smith. First down out at the 40-yard line, and Ron Fellows makes the tackle. What an interesting story from Nebraska. That's the first catch, by the way, that he has ever made against the Dallas Cowboys, despite having played here for 6 years. The last meeting in '82, he did not catch a pass.
This is a young man that caught 83 passes for over 1,300 yards one year, Vern, and didn't make the Pro Bowl. They said, well, who is this guy? I never heard of anybody catching 83 passes for 1,300 yards, and so they said, forget it. You don't go to the Pro Bowl. Now you do that, and you're MVP in the league.
Moon, 2 out of 5 so far. First down, Houston. They trail by 7. Pressure coming from Jeffcoat. The pass is incomplete at the 45-yard line. The Washington Redskins have gone on top of the Chicago Bears 10-0 now in Chicago.
The thing that's happening in this football game that is the fact that the Cowboys are able to get pressure on Moon. That time they had a tight end going over top and then a pick man coming underneath, but Moon didn't have time to get set and find the open man. Walls closed it in there fast and knocked the football down, and still Moon got knocked on his back.
Second down, 10. Hit and dropped after a gain of 6 to the 46-yard line by Dennis Thurman, number 32. Giants in Philadelphia still scoreless in the second quarter.
Maybe they're for real.
Resurgence. The Raiders lead New England 7-3 in the first quarter. Minnesota over Buffalo 7-0. That's a Tommy Kramer touchdown pass that accounted for that score in the first quarter of play. Green Bay and St. Louis scoreless in the second quarter. And we touched on that Washington lead over Chicago of 10-0, a Mosley field goal and a Riggins touchdown run. Third down and 4. Stunts again, but the offensive line does a great job, and here's a man open, but the pass is overthrown and intercepted by the Cowboys. Dennis Thurman picks it off, and they are going to say that he was down at the 20-yard line. That's his 3rd interception of the season.
This is a pass that the Cowboys said we were concerned about Wolford coming out of the backfield. We're going to double team him, single him. And this time Moon comes back. He turns, he sees, he tries to find Wolford, who is wide open. He beats Bill Bates, number 40, but Moon overshoots him. And then Thurman, number 32, comes up from the free safety spot and makes the interception.
And watch the reaction of Warren Moon.
He said, I can't believe.
There is a fascinating relationship between Warren Moon and Dennis Thurman, about which we'll tell you as the afternoon goes on, but they have been friends since they were 12 years old and played together against each other, rather, as rival quarterbacks in Pop Warner football in the Los Angeles area. First down and 10. Dallas with their third turnover of the game and 11th interception of the season. Dorsett gets a block from Schultz, but then is dropped at the 20-yard line for no gain. Avon Riley made the tackle, number 53.
Avon Riley told me yesterday, he said, you know, the thing I like about our defense is that we're going to be aggressive. We're going to hit you, and we're going to hit you, and we're going to hit you some more. And he said, these are just a bunch of young guys that want to make something happen. We're excited about the things that are happening here in Houston. And he said, but we're going to hit you. And that's all we could get out of him. Second, they were going to hit somebody. He hit somebody then. He hit Dorsett.
12-13 to go in the first half. 7-0 Dallas leads. Danny White changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Inside handoff. Quick opener, Dorsett. And he squirts through to the 28-yard line where Johnny Meads, number 91, made the tackle. Tom Landry says it's a matter of almost walking before you can run with this offense. Danny White said last night the big thing they don't have is speed at the wide receiver spot, and he lives in fear that Hill or Renfro will get hurt.
Well, this is the approach that Landry said. He said, I believe the teams are going to win with great defense and good ball control offense, and this is the thing that we're going to try to accomplish this year.
Third down, 2. Dallas leads 7-0. Renfro out of the backfield, and White to throw. Looks Renfro's way. It's hit, and the Cowboys will have to punt. Ray Childress was right in Danny White's face.
And we're talking 6'6", 6'8". I don't know, this guy is 285 pounds, number 1 out of Texas A&M, and it's a short pass, a three-step set by the quarterback, throwing out in the flat, and you throw right over a defensive end. The tackles have to engage in those ends and cut them and make them keep their hands down. That time, Childress did a good job of beating off the block and getting in White's face and knocking the ball down.
Number 82, Willie Drury, is back to return the punt of Mike Saxon, who had a 39-yard kick first time out with a poor hang time of only 3.9 seconds. This is much better. Drury drifts back and makes a fair catch call at the 19-yard line. And Saxon nailed that one, a 53-yard kick with a hang time of 4.8. Thus far, it's been all Dallas.
Here's hard-working news from Chevy Trucks. Now there's low 7.7 financing on select new 1985 Chevy trucks that can save you an average of $1,600 in finance charges on new full-size 2- and 4-wheel drive pickups, $1,700 on new full-size Chevy cargo vans, and new Astro cargo vans. But hurry, time is running out to get in on 7.7 finance savings. Nothing works like a Chevy truck.
Wires are down. Gotta go. You're gonna go with Prestone.
Driving just 10,000 miles on weak, neglected antifreeze can leave a radiator looking this bad, while the Prestone radiator looks this good.
America goes with Prestone.
It's supercharged. The new Energizer AA battery.
From Energizer Science comes the longest-lasting Energizer AA ever made. No other battery can outlast it. It's supercharged.
It's America's newest bundle of energy.
If you're thinking about cutting wood for a cold winter's night, now's a good time for a steel. Why? Because it's tough. You can drop it, bang it, bruise it, batter it, and it still holds up. Which is why more people are buying steel chainsaws than any other gasoline saw around. It'll take harsh and brutal conditions, cruel and unusual punishment. We're talking tough. Steel saws, $199.95 to start. About time you owned a steel, don't you think?
Wednesday, a brutal murder.
That little man risked his life for us.
A frightened daughter.
Who is it?
She's the next target, with one place to turn, the equalizer.
Standing room only in the Astrodome. First sellout since these two teams met on a Monday night back in 1982. They sold 5,000 standing room tickets, and they went in a hurry. Dallas leads at 7-0. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Terry Bradshaw. Cowboys and Oilers meeting for only the 5th time in the history. Warren Moon back to throw. Here comes the rush. Moon has to let it fly left side, and the catch is made. Jeff Rohrer puts the knock on Drew Hill. Talking about Dennis Thurman and Warren Moon and the relationship, they go back to the early 1960s when They played Pee Wee football. Their families are still very close, and Dennis and his wife and small child Chelsea stayed with the Moons before training camp at Thousand Oaks this summer. He's got a 22-year-old daughter, Chelsea. He said she has fallen in love with 3-year-old Joshua Moon.
22-year-old daughter?
22-month-old. Did I say years?
Yes, you did.
He's older than I thought. Here's Moon in the face of a blitz. Hagman was coming and got there first. No, not 22 years old. Thurman is age, but not that much. Take a look at Mike Hagman on the blitz.
Hagman will be coming right over Bruce Matthews on the outside. As you can see him, Williams releases, and no one picks up Hagman. Tackle is supposed to pull out and pick him up, but he misses him, and then Hagman has a clear shot at Moon and sacks him.
Thurman has come into the lineup. The Cowboys go to the prevent. Bill Bates and Victor Scott also come in, and the Oilers counter with 3 wide receivers. Warren Moon is 3 out of 8 for 26 yards. Pressure again. Hit as he lets it go, but the catch is made up at the 38-yard line by Mike Acue, who had a 51-yard touchdown pass against the Cowboys in preseason. That is his first catch as a professional. And Moon really took a shot right at the point of delivery.
Well, the thing that Campbell said that we would like Warren to do is get rid of the football a little sooner. Said the one thing he's so doggone competitive, Terry, that he stands in there, he holds it, he holds it, he holds the football, and then at the last minute, right before he's hit, knows he's going to get hit, he turns it loose. Now you see Moon hold it, and then Bates, pow, right in the chest and knocks him down on a blitz. Dennis Thurman and Walls that time on the tackle downfield.
Third first down for the Oilers, who trail 7-0. Larry Moriarty for a couple. The only touchdown came late in the first quarter on a toss from Danny White to Tim Newsom. Moriarty, who said this is a critical game for the franchise. And some of his teammates said, whoa, wait a minute.
Jim Romano, the center, number 55 in Houston, says, well, I can't believe, we don't want to hear that kind of stuff. How come a guy says something? He was so upset that he had said that. He said, I couldn't believe he said that.
Next week, they've got to go to Denver. Here's Moon. Drills it to Jamie Williams. The flag is down.
We're going to get pushing off.
On Williams?
More than likely, I would imagine it's off Williams. It looked like they had him tightly covered, then all of a sudden he popped loose. Let's see what happens.
Good eyes, number 12.
Well, they had him tightly covered. He was inside. He had a man outside and a man inside. Then all of a sudden, poof, he pushes out, and he's wide open. You got to figure how they do that other than pushing off. Warren says, good pushing off. I like that. Do it again.
Here's the call from Fred Wyatt.
Pass interference, number 87, second down.
Houston has not been able to move it. Interception, punt, fumble, punt, and interception. And they have only 3 first downs so far.
Well, sometimes it takes a long time there's Hugh Campbell's got to be concerned, but I don't think he's as concerned as these fans. It takes a long time to figure out a puzzle part, and this is what they're trying to do right now. Figure out the Cowboy defense.
Second down, 16. Moon out of the tackle of Jeffcoat. Now drills it incomplete. Up at the 46-yard line, Bill Bates was covering. The pass intended for Tim Smith, and it will be 3rd and 16. Elsewhere in the National Football League, the Bears have come roaring back. A 99-yard kickoff return by Willie Gault and a 14-yard pass from McMahon to Dennis McKinnon, and they lead Washington now. St. Louis over Green Bay by 9 in the second quarter. The Raiders on top of New England by 1 in the second quarter. And our score 7-0. Warren Moon, 4 out of 10 for 50 yards, has been intercepted twice and sacked 4 times. Rush coming. They're going to nail him. Head to Paul Jones. Moon is taking a pounding.
Ed Too Tall Jones said, the way I attack a football team that sits there is I have to get aggressive and I take it right to him. This kind of offensive line is the kind of line that just sits there and they try to get past it. If you go outside, they get their hands on you and ride you out. And he said, I have to be aggressive and really steamroll over him. And that's the job he did that time on Bruce Matthews, number 74 of the Oilers.
Lee Johnson on the punt. And Bill Bates and Leon Gonzalez deep. Nice and high. And Gonzalez will grab it at the 29. To the 36-yard line before the tackle is made. Frank Bush, number 94, downfield to make the stop. And there's a flag on the play. If the play stands, it's a 46-yard punt. Option resting with the Cowboys, and Fred Wyant will.
Number 31, downfield, ineligible, declined, first down.
So the Cowboys decline it. Warren Moon has been trapped 5 times in the first 17 minutes of the game.
We're not a company, but we recognize potential. We develop it. We use it. We'll make sure that as your responsibility grows, so will you. As your ability for leadership grows, so will you. Working with us, you'll gain self-confidence, become a person with a future. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
Hurry! At Chevrolet, time is running out on low 7.7% financing. But there's still time to save on finance charges on many new 1985 models. Save up to $1,284 in finance charges on Cavalier, America's best-selling car. $1,886 on the exciting Camaro. $1,406 on Chevy Celebrity. $1,599 on Caprice. $1,064 on Chevette. Hurry! Offer expires October 2nd. You can save up to $1,886 in finance charges. See your Chevy dealer now.
They believe in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance. Families that put their confidence and trust in our experience.
We're Liberty Mutual for your auto, home, life, and business insurance.
Liberty Mutual Insurance.
For San Francisco, it's become a familiar call. Touchdown, Roger Craig. The 49ers beat the Falcons next Sunday on CBS Sports.
Too Tall Jones, one of the stalwarts of the Cowboy defense, #1 selection in the '74 NFL draft, almost belonged to the Oilers. And we'll refresh your memory on that story in a bit. First down 10, Dallas, Danny White at quarterback. 7-0 ball game. White, short pass into the left flat, caught by Tony Hill.
They're going to get Patrick Allen for going to the head on Hill after he was out of bounds.
Personal foul, number 29, late hit, first down.
Nothing is going the way of the Houston Oilers. Allen in his first year as a starter.
Well, the guy gets 5 yards. You know, so what? What's 5 yards? You know, the last thing you don't need to add on that's another 15 yards. You take a 5-yard pass, turn it into a 20-yard pass, and you take them from out of your field position into field position. So it's really, you know, it was a foolish mistake, and the guy was going out of bounds anyway. There was no sense in it.
First down 10, Dallas. They lead 7-0 with 7:48 to go in the first half of play. Mike Renfro in motion. Dorsett tries to cut back to the right and picks up just 2 as he gets to the 40-yard line. Tackle is made by Ray Childress, number 79. I was talking about that trade. Back in 1973, the Cowboys sent 2 men down to Houston. Tony Smith, a former #1 draft choice, a defensive end, and Billy Parks, a wide receiver. They received in exchange 2 draft choices in the '74 draft, a #1 and a #3. Houston went 1-3, and the Cowboys got Too Tall Jones in the first round and Danny White in the third round.
Not a bad deal, Mr. Lundquist.
Didn't turn out that way. Second down and 8. Quick flip into, oh boy.
Oh, Robert Lyles almost intercepted a lateral and this would have been a 53-yard TD run or 57-yard TD run. Look at Hugh. Oh, my gosh, we get our chance to get back in the football game. They send him in motion, comes out, fakes to Newsom, who picks up the linebacker, tries to flip it out to Dorsett, who is on these screens, has been dangerous. And then all of a sudden, Lyle breaks in front of it and almost has the interception. I don't know what Hughes upset about, but it's obviously something. Oh, he's saying it's a lateral. It's a lateral, and it ought to be their football.
And should be a recovered football. It was Jim Cooper who got beat. At any rate, it'll be 3rd down and 8 with 7:05 to go in the first half. White, James Jones can't hang on. 4th down. There's another flag down. It's in the vicinity of the 35, away from the ball. Jeff Donaldson, number 31, was defending then. Newsom is eavesdropping. So is Renfro. Now Bo Eason.
Well, they're going to call personal foul. Only thing I can expect is on the quarterback. As I was looking down.
Roughness to the face mask. First down, number 25.
Keith Bostic, number 25.
Number 25 for the face mask.
It was well away from the pass on the other side of the field.
Well, they said they were going to be aggressive, and I guess you could say the personal fouls are a direct indication of that. In fact, they're trying to make things happen, hands in the face, knocking guys when they're out of bounds, but they're penalties that are costing their football team.
That was really a costly one. It came on an incomplete 3rd down play, and the Cowboys get new life at the 25, leading 7-0. High formation and a play fake, and White wants it all in one play. Going deep in the right corner for Hill. Incomplete in the end zone. Good defensive job done by Steve Brown, number 24. Brown has 3 interceptions this year and was draped all over Tony Hill. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That's one of those feast or famine where you have a play in your, there's Steve Brown, number 24, the left corner. You have a play in your playbook that says we're going to come out fake on play action after a big play. We're going to try to hit Tony Hill on Steve Brown. We believe he can beat him. At that time, Steve Brown had him covered like a blanket.
You know, he also has a sister named Olivia Brown, who's a star in Miami Vice.
Is that right?
Yeah. And he
told me that.
Yeah. He had a bit part in that show last year.
That's great, Vern.
Isn't that good stuff?
That is.
Here's Dorsett.
That's fascinating right there.
Jesse Baker made the tackle.
You know, I've been watching the way Dorsett. I've seen him so many times and played against him as they go out to the right side, get in behind the guards, get in behind the tackle, and bingo, back to the left side. It's a good job. Rafferty 64, Kurt Peterson 65. You can see the left tackle that time. Schultz cutting back, nailing his guy, and Dorsett goes back to the right and then bowls back to the left, gets 6-7 yards every time he does it.
3rd down and 3. Cowboys lead 7-0 with 6:20 to go. First half. Shotgun formation. Oilers look like they might be blitzing. White with good protection goes deep for Hill. Tussle in the end zone, incomplete. A real battle with Patrick Allen and Tony Hill. And we will see Septien for the 3rd time from a field goal spot. Danny White.
This is a pass that you see so many times where a quarterback throws this football and it looks as though Hill is covered. There are a lot of ways to throw it. When you have a man that's out that has 5 inches in height on a quarterback, you can lay it up high. Now here's Danny White.
Rafael Septien getting set for the kick from the 26-yard line, a 36-yard effort. He is 0 for 2 in the game. Snap is a little high. He's 0 for 3. Septien, with the 1 point he has scored, has extended his consecutive streak to 122.
Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. The technology behind it gives this driver engine protection he can depend on. And this driver. And this driver. Driver. Mobil synthetic oil technology. There's no finer engine protection on Earth or anywhere else.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Telco.
Up here, power when you need it can save your neck. When you get back down to your car, it helps too. Today's smaller engines need extra firepower from a spark plug, and AC delivers. If you could look inside your engine, you'd see an AC spark plug delivering up to 30,000 volts, firing 30 times a second. Firepower when you need it from AC.
Get rebates now on AC spark plugs.
Never wait for trouble.
There is more than just a little concern on the sideline with Rafael Septien's 0 for 3 performance so far here in the first half.
But so many times when a great place kicker misses points, you don't really are too concerned about it. But everybody seems to be concerned about Rafael Septien. Now, only thing I can tell you, not being a kicker myself, but being with Jarrella, our kicker in Pittsburgh, is the fact that when he was missing the football a lot, missing field goals, it was always because of the position of his left foot, the planted foot. Too far in front, he always hooked it. Too far back, he pushed it right. I don't know if that's the case here, but the way the teammates of him, the Cowboy teammates, are gathering around, it seems to be that they're totally concerned about him.
New England has gone on top of the Raiders by a 20-14 count in the second quarter. Minnesota over Buffalo as Tommy Kramer has thrown another touchdown pass. And Chicago's lead over Washington now 21-10 in the second quarter. First down 10 Oilers. They trail only 7-0. Larry Moriarty for a couple. Got the blocks of Jim Romano in the center. Mike Munchak, Jeff Rohr, number 50, and Randy White made the tackle. There's Oliver Luck, who is on injured reserve. He suffered a fracture in his leg in the preseason game and played the entire second half with that fracture. Thought he had a sprained ankle. He's like a semaphore in an aircraft carrier.
Right, he's taking the place from upstairs and signaling him into Moon.
Second down and 6. 5:34 to go in the first half. Oilers trail 7-0. Moon with pressure again. They've got him for the 6th time, all the way back at the 9-yard line.
Dutton. Too tall Jones. Now the flag falls. They're going to get him for face mask. Dutton actually got to him first, and then Too Tall came in on the outside and finished him up. Let's see what happens here.
Face mask, number 78. Second down.
Well, you see Dutton, number 78, in the center of your screen, reaching in. Actually, he is pushed by Jim Morano from behind, was going to fall, and reaches up to balance himself, and all he ends up with is the face mask. And so he gets the face mask, and they get the sack, and Too Tall comes in, finishes it off, but it's all to no avail as it goes back to what we got here. First down, second down?
Second down.
Second down and 6.
Nevertheless, this Cowboy pass rush has been fearsome so far. 5:27 to go in the first half. The Oilers with 39 yards total offense. Blitz delayed. The pass complete over the middle. Tim Smith with his second grab of the first half. Ron Fellows and Eugene Lockhart on the tackle. First down, Houston.
You had a busted coverage that time with Rohr going outside and then Walls coming up, and he went outside, and then all Smith did was come down, and both the guys went by him, and then he was wide open, so you had to have an exchange between Walls and Rohr, number 50. There's Rohr, the right outside linebacker for the Cowboys, as one of them evidently made a mistake in the coverage.
Rozier and Woolfolk are now the setbacks for the Houston Oilers. First down and 10 from the 44. Trailing 7-0, busted play. And Moon turns around, and there was a mix-up in the backfield. Jim Jeffcoat makes the tackle.
You got to wonder how you can make so many mistakes when you have guys like Salem as a second-rounder, Munchak a 1, Jim Romano, fine center from, they got in a trade from the Los Angeles Raiders, Schumacher, guard Matthews. This is a talented offensive line with a really outstanding quarterback, and you wonder how they can continue making mistake after mistake after mistake with all this talent.
Warren Moon said yesterday the only thing that line is missing is chemistry. Maybe they just haven't played together enough. It'll be second down and 8. 4:05 to go in the first half. Cowboys lead 7-0. Victor Scott cuts right through. Earlier in the first quarter, if you joined us late on that blitz, he came through and knocked the ball out of Warren Moon's hands. This time, the blitz works for a sack.
They cross this time. Scott goes up inside, and Clinkscales goes all the way around and comes from the outside. Let's look at it again, Vern. As you can see, as Moon sets his timing, then Scott comes straight up the middle. No one picks him up. No one touches him. That's the responsibility of the fullback, who has to step up inside and take the most dangerous rusher in the secondary. That would have been Scott, and that should have been Moriarty's man. Pick him up and give Moon time to throw.
Third down, 15 with 3:38 to go, first half. 7-0 Dallas.
Now they got it coming again. They got another blitz.
Victor Scott chasing Moriarty, and they cut him down with a high-low. Scott up on top, and it'll be fourth down.
One of the most confusing things for a quarterback is when you don't have any idea what the defense is doing. They're giving you a zone look. They're giving you blitzes and camouflage and everything. Victor Scott's playing himself a whale of a game. That time Dexter Clinkscales, number 47, he blitzes from the outside. They run a draw, which is a total wasted play against the blitz.
So Lee Johnson is on the punt for the fourth time, and Bill Bates and Leon Gonzalez wait back at the 10-yard line. Nice high kick. Way up there. Gonzalez, Bates fumbles it, picks it up, and runs out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Coming up next week on the NFL Today, it begins with the San Francisco-Atlanta game, and then Philadelphia-New Orleans. Some of you will see that. Minnesota against the Rams in other areas of the country. One of those three games to be seen next Sunday on CBS, and it all begins with the NFL Today. Check the local listings for the time in your area. Our score is 7-0, and one is a bit shocked that it is only a 7-0 game so far.
Well, with all the mistakes that the offense for the Oilers has made, and then the missed field goals by Sepsianis, really this football game, we're looking at 7-0. These Oilers are still in this football game, irregardless of the mistakes they've been making.
Carl Poe has come in for the Dallas Cowboys, rookie from Alabama State. That's Cosby in motion, and White back to throw. Fires it out on the right side, caught by Mike Renfro, who, of course, and now they say he was juggling it, and it's incomplete. Renfro, of course, starred for the Houston Oilers. You remember playing against him, I'm sure.
Well, we had a controversial call by a ref in the corner when we played in the championship game in Pittsburgh when we played the Oilers, and looking back on it now, I can honestly say that Mike made a fine catch.
That's
one heck of a nice catch.
Wonderful admission 6 years later.
Can't hurt me now.
Renfro came for Butch Johnson, summer before last. Second down and 10. Dorsett the deep back in the eye, and Cosby in motion. Pitch out Dorsett. Gets a good block and cuts up to the 15-yard line, where it'll be third down and 5. Rafael Septien's got to be wondering what is going on.
It's a lonely
one extra point.
Excuse me, Vernon. It's a lonely world for a kicker, especially one with the talent of this man, when you expect so much from yourself and you deliver so little in the first half. We don't know what the problems are, but he's missed 3 field goals, and we're not used. No one is used to him missing field goals like he has done today.
Third down, 5, 2:10 to go first half. Cowboys lead, but only by 7-0. Safety blitz. White pops it out, caught by Cosby. And Cosby has a first down at the 24-yard line. Nice, quick flip by Danny White, who knew the safety blitz was coming.
Well, he read Rod Cush, number 37. He saw him cheating up, and the safeties had gone over to coverage and gave Danny Danny, being the veteran quarterback that he is, he knew he had this man wide open. He pops it to Cosby. First down.
There is Gary Hogaboom on the sidelines with Tom Landry. We have the 2-minute warning.
Hurry, at Chevrolet, time is running out on low 7.7% financing. But there's still time to save on finance charges on many new 1985 models. Save up to $1,284 in finance charges on Cavalier, America's best-selling car. $1,886 on the exciting Camaro. $1,406 on Chevy Celebrity. $1,599 on Caprice. $1,064 on Chevette. Hurry, offer expires October 2nd. You can save up to $1,886 in finance charges. See your Chevy dealer now.
Hi, Pat Summerall. I'm no mechanical expert, but I work with professional quality Master Mechanic tools from True Value hardware stores. For quick home repairs, get a Master Mechanic electric glue gun. This top quality dual rivet gun with rivets, or a heavy duty staple gun. This miter box sets common angles accurately and store loads of tools in this hip-roof toolbox. You can do a lot with Master Mechanic tools exclusively from participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Mr. Secretary, are you saying no further cuts can be made?
That is correct, Senator.
I see here enormous expenditures on microcraft.
Our boys deserve an expensive beer, sir.
My committee informs me it's not expensive. Just tastes expensive.
Actually, that's under my assistant, Mr. Macklin.
Well, what's he doing with the money he's supposed to spend on beer?
Oh, Mac, it's a darling little boat.
Rich, smooth Meisterbrow. It only tastes expensive.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. The Cowboys' touchdown came on a 7-yard toss from Danny White to Tim Newsom. They, however, have missed 3 field goals and have dominated in this game despite leading by only a touchdown. 2-minute warning, and the Cowboys have a first down 10 at the 24-yard line. White so far is 5 of 13 for 78 yards. One big pass to Tony Hill, the only long gainer. Hit behind the line and spilled for a loss at the 22.
I'll tell you, that's just a great play by Jesse Baker, number 75, as he had 2 blockers on him. Neither one of them could budge him. He split the blockers and made the sack on Dorsett. Just a great play by this guy. 75. They say he's their best pass rusher, and it looks like he's doing a pretty good job against the run, Vern.
Second down, 11. Quick count. White, deep left side, overthrows Tony Hill. And that will stop the clock with 1:32 to go and bring up a third down 11.
Well, Danny's not pleased with that. The ball slipped out of his hand, and that happens a lot. You know, one thing I could never do, and I hate to use the word never, but I never could throw those quick passes. You notice I never threw them. I just didn't have any timing. I always threw them too hard. I always threw them over everybody's head, but I had an excuse. I just didn't have the talent to do it. Danny does, and he's also got that bad hand there, so maybe that's giving him a little trouble.
Danny White was not on the injury list this week for the first time in 3 weeks. Said he's never been this banged up this early in the season. Cowboys not great on third down conversions so far. James Jones has come into the lineup, 3rd and 11. Blitz is coming. White's in trouble at the 7-yard line. Keith Bostic. Hugh Campbell wants a timeout with 1:28 to go in the first half. The Oilers will get the ball back.
Well, there's not much you can do there. That's a case where people just get you out, man, and you can't get your pass off. And this is a page right out of the Cowboys book where they send in all their lines. They're sending their strong safeties. Danny's get across, telling Crosby, get across. Now the snap comes. He turns around. He's going to try to fire the ball back down to Crosby's, but it's too late as Bostic, 25, comes from the outside. Nobody picks him up, and he's sacked. 67, Stensrud also in there on the sack.
Second sack of Danny White by the Oilers.
I tell you, there's 1:28 left in the first half, and they're going to be punting from the end zone. They get a good return here. Then the Oilers are going to be they're going to be automatically in field goal range.
Coming up at halftime, we'll go back to our New York studios for Brandon Irv with scores and highlights, and the inimitable Tommy Brookshire will have a feature on judgment calls. Inimitable.
That's a good one.
You only say that when you follow it up with Mississippi.
Oh.
It kind of flows together. Anyway, that's coming up at halftime. Brandon Irv with scores and highlights, and Tom Brookshire with judgment calls. I saw your alma mater won last night, Louisiana Tech.
That's right. There's Hugh Campbell talking to him. You get the feeling that he believes he's got a football team now, that he said, I can push some buttons now and make some things happen.
My alma mater won, too. I just want to get that in. Texas Luther over Tarleton. Mike Saxon from the end zone. Oh, nice and high. Drury waits for it and will have a chance to return from the 39. Bill Bates is down there and makes the tackle at the 42. So the Oilers get one more chance to try and tie it up, and it comes with 1:18 to go in the first half. That was a 51-yard punt by Saxon and a return of 5, and a hang time of very impressive 5.4 seconds.
Well, you can always tell the punters in this league that have the real competitive spirit, don't let standing in the end zone mess them up. A lot of times you see a punter rush it or a punter shank it, but this time Saxon grabs the punt, knocks it 51 yards, and doggone near knocks him out of any chance to get in and get any points here.
Oilers get it back at their own 44-yard line, 1:18 to go, and they have 3 timeouts left. Stunts by the Cowboys front 4. Here comes Randy White. He's got Moon for the 8th time in the first half. It just looks mean.
Well, when you know you're going to, they know they're going to throw the football, you make the job that much easier. The guesswork is out.
Holding, however, will wipe it out against the Cowboys.
Well, you have a stunt where Too Tall comes inside and Randy goes outside, and a lot of times one of these guys will grab the lineman, pull him out of the way to create a lane, and that very well could have happened then, Vern.
We'll find out from Fred White what happened.
Number 26, first down.
Michael Downs. So it was on the receiver. But a lot of times they'll run these in-tackle stunts where they go inside and outside, and it's not unlikely for them to grab a tackle and pull him aside and create a lane for the defensive end to go inside and make the trap.
That is the second time that a Cowboys sack of Warren Moon has been wiped out because of a penalty. Once a face mask on John Dutton, this time holding on Michael Downs. First down 10 from the 48. 1:12 to go first half.
You think Too Tall had her in gear then? One of the interesting things was that Too Tall Jones told me, he said, I believe that being 6'9", I set a standard when I came in. People said I couldn't defend the run. He said, I think I've proven that. And now you see more and more defensive ends that are 6'6", 6'8". Well, Childress over here for Houston is 6'6". The big man up in Kansas City, Bell, he's 6'8", 6'9". So Too Tall Jones certainly has proven his point.
First down and 5. Oilers now in Cowboy country at the 46-yard line. Still 1:12 to go in the first half. Warren Moon back to pass. Pressure coming. He goes deep left side. Caught at the 20. Drew Hill. And Hugh Campbell wants timeout. That's a gain of 26.
Actually, what you're going to see is good coverage that time by Ron Fellows, number 27. It's on the right of your screen, folks. As Hill comes down, he's going to drive Fellows. Now he gets Fellows' turn. Fellows turns to cut him off deep, and now Hill comes out. Now he's got him covered, but look where Moon throws the football back towards the sideline, and Hill is between the ball and Fellows, and there's no way that Fellows can make that interception or knock that ball down without getting a penalty thrown on him. They get the big completion.
59 seconds to go. Drew Hill came in a trade with the Rams in the middle of the summer. Coming in, had a 17.8 yard per catch average. Last year, despite only 14 catches, he averaged 27.9 per catch for the Rams. He's got the speed. Matter of fact, the Cowboys really fear the Oilers' speed on the flanks, don't they?
Well, Gene Stallings told us yesterday, he said, we're really scared of their speed. We're going to play off on them, and we're going to give them a little bit of cushion, try to give them a lot of different looks, blitzes, zones, and bringing people in, overs and unders in their line, and really try to confuse them. But he said, we're going to keep our corners, Walls and Fellows, we're going to keep them off because we think they have excellent speed, which I found surprising because Smith, 83, is not a speed burner, but the other kid is. Hill is.
Now they send Drew Hill out left side against Ron Fellows. Tim Smith comes right side against Everson Walls.
Now they're faking the blitz. This is where they're playing games with Moon.
First down and 10 from the 20. Moon back. Lets it go into the end zone. Tussle for the ball. Intercept. Bates. Bill Bates.
This is a classic example of great pass defense. It starts with great pass rush. They're trying to confuse Moon. As you see Scott in the middle, he's isolating one-on-one on the back. He's got that back. Moriarty man for man. They get good pressure on Moon that time. Instead of throwing the ball out of bounds, he tries to make something happen. He throws it downfield. Now Wolford throws a shot in the back of Bates, and that should have been a flag right there. That's 3 interceptions on Moon. You should have thrown that ball out of bounds or eaten it. There's no sense in giving it away.
So the Cowboys get their 3rd interception, take over with 50 seconds to go, and I expect will sit on this 7-0 lead. Dorsett. Flag is down again. Holding, Dallas. Jeff Donaldson made the tackle on Tony Dorsett.
We haven't seen an overpowering offense either side, although both I think the Oilers have tried to be a little more open. Let's see what we got here. A little more open with their offense, and the Cowboys are being conservative, but neither offense has really done a lot. And if this continues, you've got to believe that some good things will happen to the Oilers in seven.
Holding, number 65, first down.
Kurt Peterson caught holding. But you got to think that some good things will eventually happen to a team if they'll just stay in there long enough and work at it.
There's Kurt Peterson, number 65, another of the many converted defensive linemen. The Cowboys using that offensive line. He was a defensive lineman at Missouri. First and 20 with 44 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Dorsett again. Watch out. Ooh. Steve Brown saved what could have been a huge gain for Tony Dorsett. And Dorsett is closing in on 100 yards in the first half. He's now got 90 on 13 carries. It would be, if it comes, his first 100-yard day of this season, and the first since December of last year. He had only 2 100-yard games in 1984.
I always love that stat they give you where they say, well, every time he rushes for 100 yards, they win. They've done that 40 times. I always got a kick out of that. Maybe we'll get to say that before the day is over.
If it comes up, I'll let you say it.
Thank you.
Danny White. Screen pass, Dorsett. And that will be the final play of the first half. Well, the story of the first half, quite simply, has been the Dallas Cowboy defense. With 3 pass interceptions, a fumble recovery, 6 sacks so far, 2 that have been wiped out. The offense has been unable to move against a sticky Oiler defense. Raphael Siptien has missed 3 field goals, so Hugh Campbell's team only trails by 7 at the half. And Tom Landry, I'm sure, will have a little bit of oratory for his team.
He'll probably tell his team more than he told us yesterday.
He still looks on you as the guy who cost him 2 Super Bowls. That's why. The Cowboys lead it at halftime by a count of 7-0. Brennan Irv coming up with scores and highlights.
Looking at things from a new point of view, and it's feeling strange to you. But McDonald's is the place that brings a smile to your face.
I like your glasses.
Really? No matter how many changes you go through, nothing hides the real beauty inside of you. It's a good time.
How many French fries do you see?
None. For the great taste of McDonald's.
They hunted him down, murdered his friends, and took the only thing he would kill for.
You gotta cooperate.
Right? Wrong. Now, somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna pay.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Commando.
Let's party.
Rated R. Starts Friday, October 4th at a theater near you.
Tonight,
It was an accident.
it was murder, and nothing could stop her from finding the killer.
Please stop this car.
The season premiere of Murder, She Wrote. Then, it was supposed to be their golden years, but something went wrong.
You killed a guy on my team. You answer to me.
Now one man faces a nightmare gone out of control. Elizabeth Montgomery, Ray Walston, Pat Morita, Dorothy McGuire, and Kirk Douglas as Amos, following the season premiere of Murder, She Wrote.
Welcome back to the New York Irv. What a tough duel down there in the Astrodome. Just what you'd expect. The Cowboy defense has been all over Moon. 7 sacks. They've intercepted him 3 times. And, I think the Cowboys were insulted by that. And watch Randy White get a little looping, jarring jolt into Moon. Ball comes free, and Moon says, I got it, and he does indeed. And Hugh Campbell says this could be a tough afternoon. Great move here by Dorsett.
Tony still has that ability to sprint outside. Everything was shut down inside. He scooted on his left end for a 30-yard gain. Still has that speed.
Those of you who are watching, here it was, the touchdown. Danny White, quick drop. Timmy Newsom's got him, and it is 7-0 at the half in that game. Another tough defensive battle. The Giants and the Eagles slugging it out, scoreless at the half. The Patriots and the Raiders are going back and forth. Both defenses have scored touchdowns in that game. Minnesota over Buffalo, it is 20-3. Bud Grant's Tommy Kramer has thrown 3 touchdown passes. Here is number 1. He'll get Leo Lewis a 10-yard scoring strike, slanting into the post on that one. Then it was the play of the game. Ferragamo is back to pass, under pressure. It's going to be intercepted. How big is Timmy Newton?
Timmy Newton is 6 feet tall and weighs a sleek 302 pounds.
Go get it, Timmy. He did on the ricochet. That set up still another touchdown. And Kramer goes to Ted Brown. This was 15 yards. And then Kramer also hit Anthony Carter a little bit later for 43 yards. They missed the extra point on that one, but they lead it 20-3. Green Bay without Lynn Dickey today, and the St. Louis Cardinals have added a field goal. It is 19-0. Randy Wright not the answer. Perhaps Jim Zorn will soon take over the Packers quarterbacking chores. Kansas City all over Seattle. Driving rainstorm in Kansas City. It is 21-0 in that game. Detroit and Tampa Bay 10-6. They are at the half there. And 31 points for the Chicago Bears after the Redskins jumped ahead in this game, 10-0. Then Mike Ditka's Bears came right back. Willie Galt, the longest kickoff return in the history of the Bears, 99 yards. Watch number 5, Jeff Hayes. He was the kicker. Injured his thigh diving and trying to bring Galt down. In the very next series, with Hayes out, Joe Theismann volunteered. This is his first and probably his last punt in the National Football League. He shanked it 2 yards. Very next play, Jim McMahon is back. Dennis McKinnon gets open, and he's got him. And it was 14-10. And then it was time for a little razzle-dazzle. Here comes Peyton, but it's the throwback, and McMahon will get himself open. This is one of the best stats in the league. Walter Payton has completed 9 passes in his NFL career, 8 of them for touchdowns. And the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
CBS Sports presents college football. Michigan State battles Iowa, or see Arizona State against UCLA next Saturday on CBS Sports. This is CBS.
The guys here at Carriage Ford have rolled up their sleeves and have really gone to work. Doing what? Well, they're cutting the fat out of every deal.
Carriage Ford has a great selection of late-model used cars and trucks with 8.5% financing available. That's right, 8.5 financing on late-model used cars and trucks. And ask about Carriage Ford's exclusive free 60-day, 2,000-mile warranty.
Carriage Ford. We're not number one yet, but with deals like this, we're getting there.
You know, I love my chair so much, I never go anywhere without it. In fact, I don't even come to Dizzy Whiz for my favorite Whiz Burger without my favorite chair. Now, when you come to Dizzy Whiz, you can register to win this beautiful Lazy Boy recliner from the Lazy Boy Showcase Shop. Or you can register at the Lazy Boy Showcase Shop on Hurstburn Lane. The lucky winner will be drawn by me, All Night Tom, on October 19th during the WHAS-TD Night Watch of Movies. Once you've got a chair like this, you won't want to leave home without it. See you later.
Good times and bright lights on 11 turn to us. We'll hit the highlights whenever you turn to us. Take pride and take heart, 'cause here's the best part. In everything we do, we're entertaining you. Turn to 11, turn to us.
John McGrath, tonight on Action 11 News Weekend.
Now, welcome back to New York. And you know, this year during the preseason, the NFL experimented with the use of instant replay. It was a court of last resort in deciding close calls by officials. Next month, the league's competition committee will meet to decide whether or not to use this innovation in the playoffs. Now, our Tom Brookshire, who has never been shy about second-guessing officials, has his own strong view on this controversial subject, and you may be surprised to find out whose side he's on.
If baseball does it, Adidas, and the same goes for basketball and hockey, why is the NFL debating the use of instant replays to possibly reverse officials' calls in the playoffs?
It can help us save one call that was a wrong call and in turn have an effect on the outcome of a ball game. I think it's worth it.
Instant replay is an attempt to settle doubts about possession, namely inbounds and out-of-bounds plays in games where a bad call could end the team's season early. Here's how it would work. 2 weeks ago, an official on the field ruled that the receiver did not catch this pass inbounds. If instant replay had been in effect, another official upstairs would have the play rerun from different angles on the monitor. And if he felt the decision was wrong, he'd have the power to have the call reversed.
It's a technical advancement that I think is going to play a part in our football as the seasons develop.
I'll admit that sometimes they're found out of position and that officiating is an imprecise science. But relying on a machine to replace human judgment is troubling, because football is a game played by people and should be officiated by people.
I think that the officials on the field have to be in control of the game. I don't think you can have a big brother overseeing everything.
It seemed like the games where they did have the use of the instant replay, the officials were a little reluctant in calling something. If they saw it, they were waiting to kind of see what they'd say upstairs rather than going ahead and calling what they saw.
Our officials will not be lax at any time. That I know. I know these people extremely well. I know their feelings, their great depth of feeling toward football, how they love the game, and they're not going to relax.
Certainly, replays have improved football on television, but not everyone agrees that they would help the game.
It would hurt the young official that was coming in. I think it would, and also it might undermine the public.
It can only do one thing, and that's help.
You look at the film, and it's no way they can cover everything that happens out there.
I played a little over 7 years in the NFL and had about 20 interceptions. I always felt like I was entitled to a few more. But in those days, when we would argue with the men in the black and white shirts, the zebras, they would merely turn to us and say, "Hey, Brookie, the call stands." The problem with instant replay is that no matter how fast the replay judgment will be, no official on the field will be able to look you in the eye and safely say, "The call stands." I never thought I'd see the day when I'd be speaking out in favor of the NFL officials, but they say there's a time and place for everything. I think the place for the NFL officials is right out there on the playing field, not up in the stands or in the press box. So if it ever comes up, I hope the NFL votes no on instant replay. For the NFL Today, I'm Tom Brookshire.
Irv, do you agree with that?
No, I really don't, Ben. I think we've gotten to the point now where we're living in a highly technically advanced stage. Everybody's accustomed to seeing replays, and the technology is available. We should use it. It'll improve the game.
All right, let's send you back to the stadium now and the game you're enjoying on CBS.
We are back at halftime in the Astrodome, a sold-out Astrodome, where the Cowboys have gotten the only touchdown of the game on a 7-yard toss from Danny White to Timmy Newsome. They lead it 7-0, but really the story of this first half has been the Dallas defense. Good afternoon once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Terry Bradshaw. Back in 1966, Terry, the Cowboys sacked a Steeler quarterback 12 times in one game. It wasn't you.
Oh, no.
It wasn't. But they may be endangering Warren Moon's life in this first half.
Well, they've had 6 sacks, 2. They've actually had 8. The fact that we said earlier in the program that pressure, they were going to put a lot of pressure on Moon. They've done that, taking them completely out of their game. They have really had no chance at all to get into their offense. You're going to see Hegman, number 58, from the outside, coming in right off the bat in the first series of downs and making the sack. Jeff Coach finishing up on the outside. They've done this continually, and this has nothing but bad effects on the quarterback, because what Moon, as you look at here, is in total frustration. The fact is that he'll start dropping back instead of reading the coverage downfield, doing his job. He'll start saying, "Hey, I don't have enough time. I better get rid of this baby," or he'll start making incorrect decisions, which are going to lead to more turnovers and eventually more sacks, more than likely.
7 today already. That is the official count. There have been so many and a couple wiped out that we are settled on 7 for minus 58. What kind of adjustments can that offensive line, albeit filled with the number 1 and 2 draft choices for the Oilers, can they do anything they haven't done?
Well, you know, when you have this...
pray?
Well, no, you can do a lot of things. The thing that we have not seen Mooten do is get a rolling pocket, set up and roll outside. So maybe in the second half, to avoid too tall Jones and Jeffcoat and White, maybe they'll get a rolling pocket and get him outside. Right now, keeping him in the pocket and throwing these 10, 15, 20-yard passes downfield is getting him killed. And the thing that's so ironic about this is that Moon told us to stop too tall Jones, and then we're going to throw short passes. Today, I have seen those short passes thrown.
In contrast, the Cowboy offense has done about as we expected. They have kind of plugged along against a sometimes tenacious Houston Oilers defense. 7 quarterback sacks for the Cowboys. Total yards so far, 149 to 70. And the Cowboys have 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery. All of that has led up to a surprisingly small 7-0 Dallas lead as we get set for the second half here in the Astrodome.
Who has taken the intimidation out of VCR programming? Give me that. RCA, with the first remote programmable VCR.
Bird brain.
You record exactly what you want, when you want. By remote control, for easy mistake-proof programming. So simple. I can do it myself. From RCA.
No matter how hard you work, Right Guard can help keep you smelling good for up to 24 hours.
You work hard, you need Right Guard.
This is Brush Plus from Gillette. A shaving concentrate and brush in one. A brush to lift whiskers, a concentrate to soften them. A shave that is superior. Brush Plus for a superior shave.